Okay, good morning again. Welcome to you all again to the webinar on IGBC Green Schools. As most of you are aware that we have recently launched this rating system for green schools. So we wanted to spread awareness on what are the green features we are recommending for the schools to implement. So this webinar is a small communication where we wanted to spread awareness on this. So before we start, we wanted to give few instructions. Please make a note of it. Please check your desktop speakers, headsets before commencement of this webinar so that you can listen and see the presentation. And if you are not able to hear during this section, please type NHA in the chat tab. Please note that this webinar would be the one-way communication from the CII side, CII GBC side. And whatever questions you have, you can just type in the question box. So which will be answered in the question and answer section. Thank you. So as a starting point, we'll just give we will give just an introduction on why green, why we are saying that people should implement green features, because you might be hearing everybody talking about sustainable these days. So this is just as as you know, IGBC has various rating systems in various building types. So in schools also, how it can impact, we just want to give a general introduction on green, and then we'll get into the schools part. So sustainable development is nothing but we are looking at resources which we can conserve and which can be kept for the future generations. What is green? Green is just not a color anymore. Now we are seeing green as in a different perspective. It's a pursuit of an activity in whatever we do in a daily activities, like energy we consume, water we consume, whatever materials we use, how we are going to use it effectively. That's what green is going to depict here. So the main activities which comes under this sustainable are energy efficiency, use of recycled or the recyclable materials, use of renewable energy, water efficiency. So all this together will be what we are talking about, the sustainable development. So if you see what it is green school versus green conventional school, if you see as an externally they look same, building usage will be also the same, but where the differences are coming to be, it's like natural resources, whatever we are using water, so that we can conserve them. And also besides this, the most benefit is that how we are having the concern of the students, health and hygiene. So this is going to be impact in your green school. Also, the another important benefit would be the operational savings. So these are the few tangible benefits which we can see if you compare to the conventional building and the green building. Reduce your operating cost, like energy savings 30 to 50% reduction, water savings 20 to 30% reduction. Intangible benefits are like you can improve the output of students because we are enhancing the indoor environment. The productivity of the students will be improved in the green buildings. This is also another step, like we are listening to the green from this generation, but the future generation are going to be the students which are occupying the schools now. So we are going to see an idea of green in the students from here itself. So this will be another intangible benefit which will impact our future also. So if we see, there is a saying by the Einstein, if we are given an hour to save the planet, we would spend 59 minutes to define the problem. So what is the existing problem we have to think, and 1 minute to resolve it. So we are maybe our further presentation will be followed on this note. So we are going to few perceptions what the general public have, what is the problem facing India is facing right now. So these problems, how we can see these problems in a different perspective will be presenting now. A population, we know we are on the top in the population side in the world. We always see population is growing, so this is a big problem to us. But if you see in another perspective, how we can create more jobs and develop India more with the existing population, we can see in a different perspective. Just as a small example, the anthropologists say that Earth has about 10 quadrillion ants, which has 12,000 species, which is 6.5 billion more than the human population. But still ants are surviving and they are doing the sustainable dwellings. So why can't we? So let us think in a different perspective. So even ants has so much population and they are able to live in a sustainable manner. Why can't we? As we are more sensible and we think more to do that. So let us go in that perspective for our future. Emissions. Emissions are always seen as in a negative way because we see emissions are creating pollution, global warming and everything. But if we see in different perspective, even trees emit, but they emit the oxygen which is required for our humans to, not only human, many other species to live. So even the emissions are good. So what we can do, if we see in a day, generally the human eat around 800 grams of food, around the 3 to 4 liters of water. But if we see on air, we take about 17 kilos of air per day, which is very huge. And if we convert it, a healthy tree which is grown, generally it will emit 20 kilos per air, 20 kilos of air per day. That means each in a lifetime. So each person need more trees than whatever they are consuming the oxygen. So that's why we recommend more trees to be planted. Please don't see having the vegetation is waste of land. It is required for habitat maintenance and also improving biodiversity in our environment. So we see all with whatever day-to-day activities we do, by travel or anything, we emit so much of carbon dioxide. It is going into atmosphere, but how we can reduce it? The one of the major solution we have is to have the vegetation. Transit. We all transit every day. We see petrol or diesel bills are going high every day. We feel that okay, we'll pay even though it's increasing because it's need. But what happens if we have to pay also, but there is no fuel existing? We have extracted all the fuel. What we are going to do? So if we see the other perspective, that's where we recommend to have the alternative transportation methods. Like you can use the bicycles or you can do carpooling so that it will reduce the emissions to the environment. So these are the few alternative transport methods where people can think on. Water. So there are many what we can say strikes or many people, they do rallies saying that we are depleting our water sources and even the lakes are getting diminished. So what we have to do? But if other perspective, with whatever water existing in our site, how we can consume it, how we can reduce the water consumption in our site. If we see in that perspective, that will be better to conserve our natural resource of water. So the solutions would be like you can have the treatment plants, you can reuse your wastewater within the site, and even for irrigations, you can have efficient irrigation systems. These are the few solutions where you can have the water efficiency. Waste. This is a bigger problem many of the countries have. We see always waste is going to give us a problem. It will be dirty, it will smell.
So we want every time our environment to be clean than the other side. But if we see in different perspective, even the waste can give us money if it can turn into a economical source. Like paper, we always sell our newspapers to the recycle vendors. So why don't we do same in others also? We can segregate our waste, paper, metals or plastics and send to the recycling so that it will be not in a waste landfill and create emissions to the environment. At the same time, it is creating the economical value to the rag pickers in India. The another important point in the buildings is energy. There are air conditioners. Most of the buildings now they have air conditioners. Other than this, we have lighting, fans, everything which consume lot of energy. For that creation of energy, electricity, the coal which we are getting is the main source in most of the in India, and the coal whatever we are getting, most of the time we are sourcing from the outside. We are importing it, and if we see, we are getting it 55% from Indonesia itself, and other countries the other percentage of coal we are getting. So this is also having huge. So it is also affecting our GDP in India, if you see. So how we can reduce our energy consumption so that it will also have impact on the country's GDP. Not only country, even the individual building, if we can reduce energy bills, it will be helpful for us. So one of the renewable energy is one of the solution of how to reduce our energy consumption. So when we say renewable energy, most of the people say our buildings, roof areas are mostly covered with equipment area. We don't have any roof area to have the solar panels. But we can look at different perspective, how we can design our buildings so that we can install the solar panels in the building itself. If we see, actually this is in a survey done, and we got to know that whatever consumption we do in an annual year in the country, we just require 5% of the India's land area to install the solar panels. So we have huge scope here, but it's just a requirement. We have to just feel on how the renewable energies can help us in reduction of energy consumption. So these are the initial perception we have given on green, how this has impact on our day-to-day activities and how it is affecting not only the country, even the world. So now we'll just get into the main our topic, green schools. What are the major things which schools can implement so that they can convert their existing schools to the green? This is CII GBC vision that we want to facilitate and support 1,000 schools by 2017 to turn into the green schools. So this is our vision. With this vision, we have formed a CII IGBC Green School Committee, which does various activities related to schools. We do competitions on related to environmental activities. We do quiz programs. Even we conduct workshops, and one of the major activity which we have launched is this IGBC Green School Rating, where we want to promote guidelines to the schools how they can convert into the green school. Okay, as I said, green school rating system is the rating system which we have launched recently, and it includes the guidelines, and it is applicable both for new and existing schools. It's not just for new schools. The top 10 green attributes which we are going to address today are, it will be related to health and hygiene, education, universal design, green lung spaces, handling of waste, water, energy. So these are the few the top 10 green attributes which we are going to address today. So if you have any questions, please you can just type in the question bar again. So we will be addressing them in the question and answer section. Health and hygiene is the first initial topic which we are talking about. When we were launching the schools also, we have visited many schools, and it was surprising to us to see which are very high standard schools also, their toilet maintenance are not good, which was a major concern for the many students, even the parents. They see like first hygiene, how my children are hygiene at the school. So we want to please, we have a request to the schools to revisit their toilets and see how hygiene they are, how we can improve the hygiene of the toilets existing in the school. Because these are the things which will create the diseases such as diarrhea or pneumonia, which we generally see most of the, or the infections which most of the students are having these days. So this is one of the major thing which we have to address. And you can see the toilets. These are the toilets existing in the school, which has been already certified, platinum certified by Igbc Green Schools rating system. It's a Cygnus World School which is existing in the Vadodara. And also the other point, other than the toilets, even the water, how we can maintain the water, because they drink, sometimes people, students get it, or sometimes the school provide it. So in case school is providing, how hygienic water we are providing to the students. So you can have solutions such as have the RO plants, so that the water can be treated and the students can have the healthy environment. Daylighting, as I said in the initial, intangible benefit as like improving the students' performance. That daylighting and ventilation are the points which will have impact on your students' performance. So daylighting, you can provide. We have guidelines in the rating system, like minimum if you have 200 to 300 lux to daylighting factor in your spaces, so it will have much improvement in your students' performance. So daylighting can be provided by having the open courtyards, even the windows, whatever you are providing. If they can provide daylighting, it will be good for the students to better read and also listen to the presentation or the whatever written on the blackboards. These are the new technologies available when there is no space and they want to have the daylight. Light pipes. This is nothing but diffused light which is naturally taken. You can just see in the pictures on the slide. The pipes will be installed from the roof to the ceiling of the interior spaces, so the light will be diffused and will be distributed in the interiors. So this is one of the natural way of system where we are taking the daylight. The next important point is on fresh air. Most of the schools, they do have enough the fans or air conditioners, but at the same time, fresh air is also required so that we feel like better, or we feel healthy in the interior spaces, because most of the times there is no fresh air. You feel, the students stay there for a long time, and since it's also many of the students present in the same classroom, when there is no fresh air, they'll feel dizzy or they'll feel nausea kind of a thing. So when proper ventilation is provided, they feel more comfortable. So fresh air is recommended. And at the time, to have more fresh air into the spaces, we recommend cross ventilation to be there. So it will reduce, when cross ventilation is there, air is distributed all over the space in the classroom, and it will also reduces the infections, because they play, so there will be a lot of dust in their shoes or in the clothes. So this will reduce the infections from whatever they are carrying when there is a fresh air coming into the spaces. So for that, we recommend at least the whatever classroom carpet area is there, if the 15% of this carpet area, if you are providing openings like windows or ventilators, even the doors are considered as openings. So this will help to fresh air come inside the interiors of the classroom. This is the again the Salvan Public School where we have taken pictures, and it's there is a lot of fresh air coming through the ventilation provided. So next topic is on water efficiency. If we say all of us know that Earth is completely filled with water, but in whatever water we have, 97.5% is of salt water. So the fresh air availability is only 2.5%. In the fresh air availability also, whatever we can use is only the groundwater, which is only the 30% of 2.5%. So how we can reduce our water consumption and how we can have more water for our future generations, we have to just relook on it. One of the important solution here for the water conservation is rainwater harvesting. This is the natural source which will be generated within your site, within your school campus. So whenever you are getting rainwater, if you can either collect it or you can restore it. So this will help out in collection of rainwater, natural resource within your site, and also when you are percolating it within your site. Suppose the school campus doesn't have huge areas such that you can have the collection pond as you can see on the left hand side, then you can definitely go for the percolation pits, which will also increase the water table in your site. Because nowadays mostly we are seeing the bores are getting dried and we are getting tankers to use water. But if we can do rainwater harvesting when there is rains are coming, so the water can percolate to your ground and it can increase water table in your site, so that you can reuse it when water is required. So these are the few projects which have done the rainwater harvesting. You can see the percolation pits. They just require you can construct within just a small space of 3 feet by 3 feet, or even the 2 feet by 2 feet square area you can take, and you can create the percolation pits where it can percolate the rainwater into your ground areas. So next other point we have next to the rainwater harvesting is on water efficient fixtures. So other than the harvesting, like most of the water consumption in the buildings or in the schools is either by drinking or either by your fixtures in your toilets or in your pantry. So how we can reduce the water consumption in your fixtures will be seen here. So now in the market there are many new manufacturers coming up with the efficient fixtures like low flow fixtures, where the water will be coming slow, but at the same time you'll be reducing the water consumption. So suppose there are the existing schools and you have already fixtures fixed and you can't do anything. So in that case, the solution is the aerators, which you are seeing on the left hand side. There are aerators available from 15 rupees to the even 3,000, 5,000 rupees. So you can just use these aerators which can reduce the flow of your fixtures which are existing in your school. So that's how you can reduce it. And there are also like flush fixtures now. Most of the buildings now they are implementing dual flush fixtures. So there will be reduce in water consumption, and also sensor based urinals are there. So they automatically flush when it's required. By having the efficient fixtures itself, we can reduce 20 to 30% of our potable water, whatever or municipal water we are using per day. So we recommend to have the efficient fixtures in the new schools, and also existing schools can have the aerators to reduce the water consumption. Next is to reduce your water is the wastewater treatment. So we have seen how we can how we can source, or how you can collect your rainwater, how you can reduce your fixtures. Now it is whatever you have consumed, which is coming as a wastewater, how you can use it. So wastewater treatments, we can have two types of wastewater treatment. Either it's mechanical way or the biological way. Mechanical way, we are seeing from very past decades that you can have STP installed and you can treat your wastewater and reuse it. On the other hand side, which is from the few past years, which is picking up the biological way of treating wastewater, where plants treat the water in the natural way and you can reuse this water. Phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is the biological way of treatment which I was telling in the previous slide. So in this phytoremediation, whatever the picture you are seeing, this is the existing phytoremediation plant in our CII GBC center, which we have implemented last year, and we have been seeing all the wastewater coming from our site is treated through this phytoremediation, and we are using for our irrigation purposes. So whatever plants are existing, they are these are the specific type of species where they take the wastewater, whatever waste is available in the nitrates and urea, whatever is existing in the wastewater, they will consume this. They will take that as a nutrients and they will treat it. So the treated water will be collected at the end point and will be reused. So and if you see advantages in this biological way of treatment, you don't see treatment if the STPs, they are just as in a normal mechanical way. You don't have any green spaces. At the same time, here you will maintain as a garden space. They don't require any maintenance. It just requires only the pruning part. Whenever the plants grow hugely, you can, gardeners just need to prune them, and they also they are the vegetation, so they attract the habitat at the same way. So they'll not have any impact of heat islands because they don't emit the heat outside, they observe it. So this is a water quality analysis which we have observed in our site. If you see the first conical flask to the last one, there's a lot of difference. That's how the water is treated from this phytoremediation, and we are using it. So these are the few examples or few features which you can do within your site, which can consume less water at the same time and have the water conservation. Next we'll move on to the energy. We see a lot of power cuts because there is lot of usage of power and there is no energy. There is whatever we are using, so much of energy is not produced. So how we can reduce this energy efficiency from our site itself? We can just relook on. So one of the major thing is energy consumption is through the fixtures whatever we use. Most of the schools, we know, they use tube lights as a thing, so we can use efficient, energy efficient tube lights or BE star rated tube lights, which can reduce your energy consumption at least by 20%. Even the other appliances such as fans or split ACs which you have in your classrooms or in your principal rooms or staff rooms, you can just look on to have the BE star rated appliances because they consume less energy. So even the other appliances like refrigerators, projectors, LCDs, whatever you use in your school, you can go to the energy efficient or star rated or equivalent to the star rated appliances so that they consume the less energy. Other source of reducing energy consumption is you can have alternative sources of energy like solar panels. You can implement it on your buildings itself. These are the few alternative sources of energy indicated here, such as building integrated photovoltaics, micro wind turbines, solar hybrid. Now there are also hybrid systems which are available, so which are the renewable energy systems. These are the few schools which have already implemented the solar panels, so they are effectively using them again. There are even if suppose if you don't have the enough space to keep your batteries within your school campus, you can just connect them to your grid so that they go back and you can just reuse them. Many of the local states, they have facility that they provide incentives if you connect them to the grid from these alternative sources of energy. So you can just think on how you can implement the renewable energy sources in your site. Yeah, as I said, waste is one of the big problem we face. Wherever we see there is a lot of landfills, even on the roads. We see it creates a lot of unhygienic conditions and also health problems because of this waste. Not only the health problems, even when this waste are combined at this in landfills, they create emissions which create a global warming, and the GHG gases are affected. So how we can reduce it is that we have to segregate our waste at the source itself. You may think there is a lot of waste already doing, just by doing within the building how we can do, but how it going to affect. But we have to start from our source, then only we can see there will be a change. So we as students are going to be the future. This could be one of the activities you can tell them that whatever paper or plastics, whatever metal waste, whatever is generated in the classrooms, if they can segregate at the school itself, they know they can take it home. At the home also they can segregate it. They will in turn teach to their society that you have to segregate the waste and send to recycling. Do not send to the landfills. So you can create a dustbin, separate dustbins for paper. Mostly paper waste is generated in schools, so separate, you have paper separate dustbins, and also like wet waste, whatever they are having, the food waste generated during lunch times or snack times, they can, if there is a waste, they can put into the wet waste dustbins. So whatever dry waste is there, we can send for recycling. As you know, paper we send for recycling, and plastics also can be sent to recycling. When we come to the wet waste, the organic waste which is generated in your school or even in your homes, you can just do the composting. This is also a source, actually, if you speak, this is also a resource within your site itself which you can reuse. So these are the few technologies available now in the market. You can take these are the recyclable canvas which you are seeing on the slide. You can just put it your waste into this recycling canvas, and you can see these after 1 month of putting your organic waste, this will be turning into a very good manure which you can reuse again for your landscape. So no more waste. You need not again buy your whatever composting required for your vegetation. You need not buy. You can just generate it within your site itself, and you can reuse it. These canvas are also very small, so you can just keep it at any corner. Even at homes, you can use it at balconies. So this is very handy and also very effective. So this is how compost is generated from the composting beds. So next is a green transit. As I said, we use lot of vehicles. Now we see many of people coming. Each one of us has in a car in a house. We can see at least 2-3 cars are there for each house. So there will be so many cars on road. So much of emissions coming. So much of pollution which is creating. So we can just think on alternative sources how we can bring how we can reduce this. Especially for schools, I think most of the schools in India does that. We have they have their own school buses where maximum of their students travel by school bus. So we encourage people, you encourage your students more to come by school bus than by their own vehicles. So we reduce these emissions. And also who are nearby, they can come by walking or bicycle to the schools. So if you are planning also, see suppose many of the schools, they have group of schools and they will be establishing new schools. When you are coming up with new schools, you can just think upon having the schools within a residential area, so that whoever is existing in that residential area can come to the nearby school. They can come by walk or bicycle to the school. And public bus or rail, it's you can think of there will be few schools like municipal schools or even the normal corporate schools. Few of the students come by the public bus or the metro rails which are available in the cities. So select your site such that your new school site such that it's near to the public bus stand or the railway station, so that students will be encouraged to come by public bus. We see most of the time for the office buildings, since it is not near to the public bus or rail, people are forced to use their own vehicles or come through the individual vehicles. But when the public bus stop is near, so they will be feeling encouraged to come near to the use the public bus, and they can, so that they can go to the their office building or school building by walk from the public bus. Green lung spaces. Now, if we see olden days or even now also many of the school does have, but some of the schools, they don't have even the space to put small pots also. We just see all are the concrete spaces or the parking paved spaces in the schools. So which are creating lot of heat island effects. Heat island effects are nothing but these paved areas, they don't absorb the heat, they emit the heat into your environment. So they are creating lot of heat, and they are also, there is no fresh air. Most of the time you get they are on the main roads, so whatever pollution is coming from these vehicles will be coming into schools, school environment. So these are creating very less like healthy spaces or green spaces in the school campus. So we encourage, please increase the green spaces in your school building. If you don't have enough setbacks, please come up with the roof gardens. Even the roof gardens, they will reduce the heat emissions inside your building. So the top floor of your building, school building, will not have lot of heat emissions coming inside. So please encourage more green spaces. Lot of schools are having the, as a green activity. One of the activity, they are creating organic gardens. They're doing, their students themselves, they are developing that. So they own that activity, students, and they know what is the importance of the green or the lung spaces required for them. This will not only create a healthy environment, this also creates good habitat like butterflies or birds flowing in your site. This will also encourage biodiversity to maintain in the ecosystem. Not only the green spaces, even the other activities, like most of the schools doesn't have playground itself. They take there is they have some other option, like they go for some other they lease it, and they get they take their students to that playgrounds. But we encourage, do have playgrounds so that students can play there, because playing is also required in their daily activities, which improve their health, and also they release their mental stress whatever they are having. So playgrounds are also important. Please do create the playground areas, both outdoor activities and also indoor activities in your school, so that it will have more healthiness and improve the activities of your students. Universal design. Yeah, not only school, any building, we say that it should be designed for everybody. It should not be just like free. Recently, we have been seeing in the news articles also, like since there are no ramps or the hindrance-free movements, the differently able people are finding it very difficult to getting into the even the normal public buildings, like even the post offices or hospitals, which are public buildings. Since they don't have these criteria, they are facing a lot of problems. So This is one of the important design theme which we have to put in mind when we are designing our new school. Please design it for everybody. Have hindrance-free movements for the differently able people. Hindrance-free in the sense there should not be many steps, so that at the entrances, at the main entrances, so that they can move easily. If you have ramps, please do keep ramps so that they can even take the wheelchairs on the ramp and they can come inside the building. Please provide the designated restrooms for them so that they can comfortably use the restrooms also. These are the few design criteria which you have to implement for the differently able people. Even the parking also, if they are coming with their different parking, they have reserved parking which is near to the entrance, maybe starting point of the parking area. If you can just provide reserved for the differently able people, they will be able to easily communicate. These are the few buildings which have implemented that. You can just see as in our pictures. And last but not the least, green education. So green education, we have to we are talking about green only from past decades, but if we see the students which are going to be future and they are going to see future decades, so educating them on the environment and the sustainable way of living is very important for now, because we see there are no even though we are facing the problem like pollutions or there is no water, there is less of electricity produced. So these all, if we can educate them how they can live in a sustainable manner, this will definitely have an impact of our future generations. So please do have some of the other activities. Most of the schools now, they have environmental education as part of the curriculum. So just don't keep it as add to the curriculum. Please turn into activities. Many of the teachers you would have observed, rather than just as a theoretical thing, when the students have seen it practically or if they have done the activities, you see there will be a lot of impact on students. So please do encourage them to do some environmental related activities. It need not be just as they have to do some project. They can, even if you are taking to some educational tools, like see even the zoo, they are going to see different species which are existing. They know, we all know that tigers are getting extincted. So they get sensitized that species are getting extincted. So what we can do? So such kind of educational tools also help them how we can sensitize the students, and please make them participate in any kind of green activities like environmental activities like drawing competitions or quiz programs, because this will make them to think about them, not only just reading itself. When they think and when they are drawing, when they are drawing on environmental impact, so they think a lot how this nature is getting affected because of our day-to-day activities. So when they think on, so they can also implement it at their home, and they can also sensitize the parents and the society at the broader level. So please do encourage more green education and green activities for your students in your school campus. So these are the top features which we wanted to communicate to everybody. As I said, this is a launch slide, launch photo which we did in last year during our flagship event, Green Building Congress. It has been the rating system was launched by the minister, Mr. KTR, and on the whole, if we see green school rating system, it's just doesn't talk only one thing like water or energy. It talks us in a holistic way how a school can be designed, how a school can be can include their fixtures or materials, and how they can operate also after the building is completed. Even the existing schools, whatever they have, how they can relook on whatever they are consuming, how they can conserve the natural resources like water or energy. So it's a holistic way of approach. So please do consider, if you have any queries, the IGBC team will be always available. So please do contact us. And if you see the IGBC certification process, this is the process flow chart. whoever are interested, please, they have to register first with the IGBC. After the registration, they have to implement as guidelines mentioned in the rating tool. You can just implement the green measures which are indicated in the Green Schools guidelines. And after that, that is done, the school visit will be done by the IGBC team or the committee members. So we'll just see whatever they are implemented, and as per the implemented measures, the school will be rated. So these are the few schools which have already implemented the green measures and been certified by the IGBC in past 4 months. Candor International School from Bangalore, it's Cygnus World School from Vadodara, Modi School from Rajasthan, and also recently we have certified Ramakrishna Mission School from Chennai. So these are the few schools which have already implemented and they have got certified. So we recommend and we request more schools to please implement these guidelines. If you have any questions or any problem in implementation of any measures, please do get back to us. We will definitely help out. I'll just close by just few slides on what we are doing further to the green schools. See, as I said, we have formed a Green School Committee as part of the awareness programs and activities. We are conducting a Green Your School contest. It is one of the major part of our flagship event, Green Building Congress in November. So for that, we are open. This competition is open to all schools in India. The eligibility is from 8 to 10 standards. As the title says, Green Your School Contest, the topic is nothing but you have to convert your school into green school. So what are the measures you are going to implement in your school if you want to convert the school into green school? The students have to do a presentation. So one team should have maximum of 5 people. So they can just apply for doing this presentation or developing ideas. They can use IGBC Green School rating as a tool. These guidelines will help them in the doing the presentation or the developing this project. So for that, we'll be sending the posters to all the schools about giving more information on the green schools, this Green Your School competition. So this is just to have an idea that we have shown this here, so that you are aware of it. So the winning schools will have the top 3 schools have the cash prizes also along with, so that they can implement these measures. Whatever you have implemented, whatever you have shown the green measures in your presentation, the students have taken, so they can do it. This will be as a support from IGBC that they can implement those measures back into their school. So thank you for patience listening. These are the green features or guidelines which are indicated in our green school rating system. So we open the floor for the question and answers. So please feel free to put your questions in your question thing.